Let's have a bit of pillow talk. This one's a bit gloomy tonight. Um, let's talk about the big C. I've had a lot of loss in my life because of cancer. Cancer took a lot of people from me. I lost my brother at 3 years old. I remember it well. My brother got sick. We took him to the doctor. The doctor was right above us here, where I'm living now. And it was an Indian doctor. And he ran some blood tests and so on, all of that. And they found leukemia. He had leukemia. He he had I don't even know the strain of leukemia he had, because my parents never really talked about it like that. But all I know is that he had leukemia and he had to go away to get treatment. So they took him to Barbados. My mom took him to Barbados. And they were up there for some time. My dad went up, came back down. I went up. I saw him in the hospital. He was just 3, and when I saw him in the hospital, he looked so different. He was all blown up with medication, but he was still Lorenzo. Sprightly and loving. And then I came back down. My grandmother used to come and take care of me in the evening time. I was like I was 11, was it 11? When he was born. So I was like 13. I think 13. Yeah. It was 1980. So yeah. And I remember I didn't like the hospital. Too many sick kids was there in the ward. I didn't like visiting him there. And after I came home, I was young, so it didn't really hit me as hard as it might have if I was a little older and understood better what really was going on. And then I can't even remember, to tell you the truth, how I found out that he had passed. I just know he passed, and they were bringing him home, they were flying him home. They were flying him home to bury him. And he came home. My dad and my mom were devastated. The whole family was grieving. Brought him home, we had a funeral. Yeah, it was messed up. The family was never the same after that. Never the same. Things never got back to normal. It just went. Everybody just did their own thing, right? After that, I had a family. I eventually started a family and moved out. Well, I moved out and started a family, and things progressed for some years, and then my dad got sick. Monday, my mom called me and said my dad isn't feeling well and thing, and she think I should come and check on him and all that. I came and I saw him. I said, I'm gonna take him to the doctor, and I took him to a heart specialist. He former attorney general, no, former, what do you call it? Oh my God, look, my brain is like mush tonight. I can't even remember. Governor General, yes. Former Governor General. He was a heart surgeon at the time. And I took him to him and he checked me. I think he had an x-ray and all of that. And when he checked them out, he said that he thought I should take him to the hospital. Took him to the hospital, they admitted him, ran all sorts of tests, found out that he had bone cancer. He was in the hospital a while. It wasn't very pleasant him being in the hospital because we had some issues with nurses not doing the job. One minute he was getting better and the next minute he's in a coma. Just like that. One minute he's recovering nicely. Doctor left the country, came back, and my dad is in a coma. Doctor called me and spoke to me. And my husband, he said it's not really looking good because of the coma. I don't know how he ended up in a coma. We were never told anything basically. Just that it wasn't looking good. And to tell you the honest truth, the years that has passed hasn't really affected my memory. It's just that I don't know if I blocked it out or what, but these things seem to be like a blur to me. I don't know if I blocked it out. It come like it's a blur. Like I could remember what happened, like he passed away. But if I tell you the fine details, I could remember some details, but some other details like the conversation we had with the doctor. I can't remember what the doctor said. I remember he said it doesn't look good. And then when I heard he said that it was like I went somewhere else. I don't even know. I don't even know what happened. Anyway, one day I came home from the hospital from visiting him, and it was like after 9 the night, and my husband's sister came up, and she called me. I found it strange because she don't really come. She never used to really come and visit in the night where we lived. So I found it strange that she came up and she called me. She came up the steps, and when I went to see what was wrong, what happened, she wanted. And by the time I hit my front door, she said, "Your dad," and she broke down. From the time I saw that, I knew that my dad had passed. That was a difficult one for me. I had a rough patch because my dad and I wasn't really close to the extent that some people have a relationship with their father where they're really, really close. Because he was sailing for years. He went when I was very young, and he was away most of the time. He was away. He would just come and spend a few weeks and then go right back again, or maybe a month or so and go right back again. So for most of my life, until I became a teenager, he wasn't really there. I mean, I love my father. I love him, and he was a he was a good father, really good father, good provider, everything. But the closeness that I thought we could have had was not there. I don't know if that was the reason because he wasn't there and all of that. But we didn't have that closeness. But I still would have liked, even now, I wish every day that he was here. Every single day, I wish that he was around to see his grandkids, uh, and to see his great grand, to see his great grandkids. It would be so cool. But life, in the midst of life, we are in death. And then recently now, I had another. My husband was an alcoholic, drank for years, really, really badly for years. I used to always speak to him and ask him to stop. I used to beg him to stop drinking. I say, you'll kill yourself with the alcohol. Say, everything for you is alcohol. I used to beg him to stop drinking. What's the reason for you to be drinking like that? Your life is alcohol. We used to have it out a lot about that. Anyway, I wasn't really seeing him because we were separated at the time. I was not seeing him for a while. I didn't see him. He wouldn't come or anything. He wouldn't know. I noticed he wasn't passing and all of that. But he started complaining a few years about a stomach issue. He would say his stomach would be rolling and like gas and uncomfortable. He used to complain a lot about it. I told him, I said, you need to go and get it checked out. You need to go and see a doctor, have it checked out. And he never really bothered with me. He never really liked doctors. He never really wanted to go and see a doctor. He never listened. He always did what he wanted to. And well, eventually he did go to a doctor. But unfortunately, as far as I know, the doctor didn't follow up. Or he didn't follow up with the doctor. And that might have been the window. That would have been the window that I believe that would have been needed to save his life, for him to be alive today. Anyway, that's how it goes sometimes in the small country we're in and the way things are. And so I wasn't seeing him, and I found it weird. And then somebody say he doesn't look like himself, and I say, what? Me, he doesn't look like himself. So one day I say, let me go and see him. I'm going and see what's going on. And I left home and I woke up, oh, excuse me, walk up where we used to live. And I walk up the hill. I went up, reached on the peak of the hill now. When I turned the corner, as I turned the corner, I saw my husband and my son. And when I saw my husband, I was in shock. There was a seat, a makeshift seat they had there. I had to sit down. I could not believe that was my husband. The way he looked. And weird because it's after one time is another. Because when I saw him, I was like, wow, something is definitely wrong. Something serious is going on. And I said to him, I said, you need to go to the hospital. I said, I don't like how you're looking. You need to go to the hospital. And he said, okay. And I told my son, I said, I'm going home. I said, I'll meet you there at the hospital. I'll meet you guys down there. Get to the hospital. I'll meet you down there. Have his nephew drop him down. Because I didn't have a vehicle at the time. And all. I said, have his nephew drop him down and I'll meet you guys down there. And I left. And I came home and I head down to the hospital. I was there and I waited a while. I didn't see them. I had to call and they're on their way. So when they got there now and he went in and all of that, they admitted him and started running all sorts of tests. All sorts of tests they started running. And when all the results and all that came back, and the doctor examined him and all of that, they say, unfortunately, it's stage 4 colon cancer. And they have to operate because there's a blockage. Because he was not, that's the problem why I told him he had to go to the hospital because he was not able to pass stool. He was not passing stool, he would just give a little water and nothing heavy would come out. Nothing solid would come out, just water. So he said they have to go in immediately. So they scheduled surgery and day of the surgery now, I went there, I was there all day. Waited, we had the surgery. And then the doctor came out, Dr. Kabbalah. And he said, he called me. He said, my assistant today. This is after my husband was diagnosed and all of that. He said, my assistant today, we found a lot of stuff. And he said, we got rid of the blockage. He said, we took out some stuff and all of that. Got rid of the blockage. So he's okay, he can stool now. But he say his liver. He say his liver is filled with tumors. It's one solid mass, he say. It's a solid mass of tumors. He say, and when you look at my husband lying on the bed, you could see his liver sticking up out of his abdomen. It was like a hard stone in his tummy. And it was difficult looking at him going through this. Very difficult because the person that I knew before and the person that I was looking at then is two completely different people. I didn't like it. I used to go and I would go and visit him. We would talk. We would talk and talk about family and old story and all of that. And he came out of the hospital and I said, you wanna, I had to, I said, you can't go to Mackisell because of the way he was living, his current wasn't there, water wasn't there and all of that. I say, you coming home with me? He said, okay, no problem. And he was here with me for months. He would go back to the hospital. After he was discharged, he came here and he was here for months. And he would go back to the hospital for doctor visits and all of that. And they had given him, because the fact that it was stage 4 cancer, it had spread to majority, it had spread to a lot of places in his body, including the lungs, and I forget where else. And he was in a lot of pain, a lot of discomfort. He was in. If you try to move him, sometimes he would cry out in pain, and he would eat, and he would eat okay, but not the appetite he had before. And then he started to say he wanted to go home. He wanted to go home. So I organized to have things excuse me, put in place to make him comfortable at home. And he went home. And he was there. I would go and visit him. He would lie in my lap and we would talk. I rubbed the shilling oil on his forehead. But he was in a lot of pain. A lot of pain. Lot of pain. He asked me to pray for him. I prayed. While I prayed, he cried on my leg. Tears ran down my leg. I could feel the warm tears running down. And I prayed for him. We prayed. And at the end of the prayer, I hear him mumble, Amen. And it was really, it's not something that you would want an enemy, anybody that you love, much less to, an enemy much less to anybody you love go through, you know? It was difficult. When I tell you pain, they had given him a very strong painkiller, and that would just dull. That would just dull the pain that he was in. It wouldn't take it away completely. So he was in a lot of pain. And then my girls, one week that he passed, my girls went to visit him. I went and I prayed again with him. They went to visit him, and then one evening they came home. He was talking and thing about the father and thing, talking about how he was and all of that. And he was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. You could see he was getting weaker. And they were saying, no, they gotta go back up. I think it's the next day they was planning to go back up. And then the phone rang. And it was my son. And he said that his father had passed, and it felt like my whole entire being just collapsed on the inside. The kids were devastated. Everybody was crying. I said, come on, you guys, we have to pick it up. We have to deal with your father. We have to get things done. We need to organize and call the doctor and thing, and because he was home, he had to go to the funeral home and all of that. And the thought about doing those things was like, shit, should not be doing it. This should not be happening. This is not time. This is not supposed to happen like this. He's not supposed to be gone. Anyway, he passed away the evening. We had to go back, we had to go up the hill, organize him and get them to come and pick him. Get the doctor to check him, sign the papers, and get him. More crying, more tears. My daughters were devastated, the son was devastated, everybody was devastated. All because of alcohol. I don't drink. I used to drink before, but I don't drink anymore. I'm a Christian woman, and even without being a Christian, I was not drink. Haven't had a drink in. Wow. I have not. Now I think I have not had a drink. Wow. It's been ages. It's been so long, I don't even think I can put a date on it. But it's been years. It's been years since I've had a drink. And cancer sucks. It sucks. It's something that devastates the entire family. You can't fight, especially when it gets to that point. You can't fight. Cancer sucks, but big time. I said I spoke about this tonight because I think we as people, we allow enmity, we allow problems and things that happen between us to put some too much separation in relationships, whether husband and wife, mother and daughter, father and son, anybody. Because you never know. You never know when this person is going to just pass away. You don't know. Because especially these days, people just falling out, like they're just literally falling down and dying. I don't understand it. And we're still living like cats and dogs. we still not showing people the love that we ought to. Family, friends, you know? If you love somebody, if you love somebody, if you have a disagreement with anybody and you want that person to be in your life, apologize. Even if you're right or you're wrong, apologize. Make it up. Get that person in your life if you want that person in your life. Life is too short. Life is too short. Time waits for no one. You know? It doesn't slow down for anything. It doesn't stop for anything. No matter what, time waits for no one. You know? Tell people you love them today if you love them. Make up with family, make up with friends. If you have people that you haven't spoken to for years and that you used to move so well with, was so friendly, you were so close, get in touch with them. Call them, give them a call. Say, hi, how you doing? I miss you. Because you could pick up the phone and somebody would say, you know, XYZ passed away. And you would regret not doing it. It's the most difficult thing to live with is regret. Regretting things that you could change with just a phone call, a text, a simple smile when you see the person. Hi, how you doing? You know? It's been a long time. Let's have a drink sometime. Let's get a coffee. Let's hang out, you know? I miss you. Don't wait until it's too late. You don't get back time. You don't get back the time that you lost being angry with somebody. Being being stubborn, too stubborn to say, listen, regardless of what happened, forget about it. Let's just move ahead. You know? Let's just move on with life. Life goes on. Life goes on and some of us are stuck. Are stuck in the past with that stuck in the past with things that doesn't even make sense. You know? Call somebody today. Tell them you love and miss them. It might be a brother, sister, auntie, cousin, anybody. Give them a call today. Don't wait until some illness or something to catch up, because sometimes it's too late. Give them a call today. That's me and my pillow talk tonight. Thanks for being here. Remember to subscribe, share with someone, give a like, comment, tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about pillow talk. What can I talk about that you would like to hear about? Is there something that I can talk about that will be appealing to you? Have a good night. See you soon.